Hey, everybody. Coach Burnside, along with Coach Cox, the executive coaches for Gold Medal Coaching Academy. We're excited to be back today on another Coach's Clip. Coach Cox, can you say hi to everybody today? So Coach Cox along with us here. Today what we're talking about is we're talking in the Coach the Coach here on the Coach's Clip. Great opportunity for us to sit down and just kind of talk about things of how would we deal with something if we were to coach somebody or they're trying to coach somebody else and try to build that scenario. So today on the Coach's Clip on Coach the Coach, it comes to us as this. It says, as a person, I feel the desire to perfect things before taking action. How would you coach me in that? What would you coach me with? And so these are really quick. So obviously this is longer than this, but we're just going to take a minute or so each and fill that in of what I would do if I was to coach that person that feels that desire to really perfect things before taking action. So really what it comes down to for me is this a good thing or a bad thing, right? We're all asking that question. So how good is this? I mean, is this the right thing to do? Or, how far should we go with it? So a note that I made here that I put on my paper as I was thinking about this is I put that true success is basically progress towards a goal. And what I've understood in time and over time and the things that I've done is that, as we look at progress, that's really what we're after. And there's a point to get things close. But you got to understand that every product that's out there is different today than it was when it was invented. Think of our mobile phones today. If they would have waited until they got the ultimate phone like that we have today, whatever it is that you have, these smartphones, if they would have waited until they invented that, we would have never had mobile phones. We would have been waiting 20 years. And so with that, what I'm saying is, you remember the old ones that come from the old bag phone. Maybe some of you don't remember that. Maybe I'm aging myself a little bit, but I remember the big bag phone that you actually plugged into the car and you could only dial a number. That was it. And it cost you a lot of money to dial that number. And it cost you a lot of money for that phone. There was no unlimited texting, no unlimited data, no unlimited whatever. And so we've come a long ways with that. Now, was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. It had its issues as well. They perfected it. And now over time, it's even come down to where our smartphones are basically what used to take up a room, if not more, is in our pocket. And so I guess what I'm saying with that is don't be afraid to get it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but also be willing to take the setbacks and the advice and fix it. That to me is the most important thing you can do, is looking for people's feedback, knowing it's not perfect, and your whole purpose is trying to perfect it. So Coach Cox, what do you think about that?
Oh, this is a fun question. I think when it comes to perfecting something before you move on, if you look about like Walt Disney or a lot of those great entrepreneurs, they didn't perfect it. They went and did it. Like if Henry Ford, if they asked him, hey, what kind of car you want, they would have just said a faster horse, right? Because they wouldn't know what it was. And so Henry Ford just says, hey, I have an idea. You built it. So a lot of times when we get ideas, they're not going to be perfect. And over the years as a business owner, I'll build out programs, and sometimes we'll just get started and fumble through the program. Brian Tracy's a great business coach as well. He says, if we spend all our time planning and never start, we're always going to just have that idea to start something but never get out of the workshop. Does that make sense? So that we're always perfecting our craft but never sharing it. So I can have the most beautiful piano or make the most beautiful violin, but if I never sell the violin, nobody's going to be able to enjoy it. So what I always tell people when I coach them on this is, it's okay, get a plan and then execute the plan, then come back and look at what you did or what you could do better. But if you worry about perfection, you're never going to get started, because a lot of times when it comes to over perfecting it, we can plan to fail, or we can plan to never start as well. We can over plan something, or we can under plan it. So you got to find that happy medium between perfection and getting going. So that's kind of what I usually share with my clients is just get going, test it out. And if you kind of fumble a little bit, most great entrepreneurs have fumbled into success. They've failed forward, as the old John Maxwell always says, fail forward. If you don't get started, you'll never know. So that's what I would say to that, Coach Burnside, is that, just don't get caught up on perfection. get caught up on vision and moving forward.
Wonderful. Thanks for your comments and thanks for the feedback. Hope that helps you again because, there's plenty of us that are perfectionists, right? We want to have that perfect product. And the truth of the matter is there's not many things in the world that are perfect. So something to think about as we move forward. Once again, always we're excited here on the Coaches Clips. Please send us your info, anything that you're looking for that you might be having issues with, problems, questions, whatever it is. We'll fit it into the Coaches Clip here and hopefully be able to give you a little bit of guidance with that as we move forward. As always, it's been exciting to be with you again. And as coaches, as we always say, remember, coach today as if you are the coach of tomorrow.